Good evening, everybody. This is Johann and Yvette, your medication reduction specialist here with a new training for our reset program. Yvette, how are you doing?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, Johann, I'm doing so well. I'm so excited because this is one of the part of the classes that I really love and enjoy. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
I agree, and I have to tell our members and everybody that is in reset, this is a time where you really have to fasten your safety belt.
What's that, Mom?
Andy cat.
Just get ready, because when we kick off now,
Okay, I can always take him back.
there is no stop.
There is nothing else.
We're just gonna keep on going, and if take notes, if you get the recording, you can obviously pause and go back to where you want to take off. But this is really one of the most insightful pieces of what we do in order to get us all to a much healthier metabolic state. So I'm going to start off with a piece of when to eat. And before I start off with when to eat, there is something that everybody needs to understand and know, that there's so many things, almost everything in your body gets regulated by something called hormones. Hormones is something, like chemical messengers that get secreted by different glands in your body that regulates a myriad of different things from your mood to your appetite, to your blood sugar, to your electrolytes in your body. Everything gets regulated by hormones, and they're all in perfect harmony. It's almost like a great big symphony orchestra, where every instrument knows exactly when to play, how loud to play, and what note. And they get turned on for sometimes. When then this one gets turned off, another one gets turned on. So that is the way our hormones work. And insulin in our bodies is also a hormone. It is a hormone that gets our blood sugar lower. Most people know about insulin because of people or history, friends or family that have diabetes. And also some people know about insulin that they just know that is what's going to make my blood sugar go down. Because unfortunately, like Yvette will also tell you, if we go to a doctor with a diabetes, they just chase a number. They just want your blood sugar down. So which means, if it means that they need to give you more insulin in order to get your blood sugar down, that is what they'll do. And it's not always the right course of way of action. So with that said, insulin is not only a hormone that makes your blood sugar go down, it is also a fat storage hormone, because the way it works to get the sugar out of your body is it opens the doors of your cells in order to shove the sugar into the cells. And that's how you get fat. So the moment you have this carbohydrate or sugars in your blood system, in your circulatory system, the trigger goes off in your brain that says, release the insulin, we need to get rid of the sugar right away. And at some point, the cells in your body go, I can't take this anymore. This is too much sugar. Close the door. If insulin comes, and some of us have learned in health class that insulin is the key to the lock that opens the cell for the sugar to go in, then the cell is going to start to say, I've had enough. We're going to start refusing the key because the cell is too full of sugar. We don't want anymore. And that is where only thing your body knows to do to get rid of the sugar is give more insulin. And that is where the insulin resistance comes from. Now, talking about when to eat, here is something that as a pharmacist, I still hear it today. It's so annoying. People go to the doctor, get diagnosed with diabetes. Doctor tells them, oh, you have to eat every 2 hours. Why? Eat a breakfast, then 2 hours later, you have to eat a snack. Then 2 hours later, you have to eat lunch. And that is just so wrong, because if you do that, your insulin remains high. And when your insulin remains high, number one, for the people who are weight conscious, it's almost impossible for you to lose weight. With insulin that remains high, your blood pressure is going to go up, because insulin have a real big effect on your kidneys that makes your blood pressure go up. Then it makes you wonder what a term that we medical people call essential hypertension, which the doctor will tell you, we don't know what it's from. Maybe it is from the insulin to be constantly high. Remember, this program is not for us to show you how to lose weight. Losing weight is the side effect of being healthy. So, talking of which, going forward, talking about insulin, if you eat a meal, you eat breakfast, and let's say you eat some carbohydrate with it, your blood sugar is going to go up. But at the rate that your blood sugar goes up, insulin always follows your blood sugar. It does not go up parallel with your blood sugar. Blood sugar goes up, and then insulin follows just one step behind. Then when your insulin goes down, again, insulin follows behind the blood sugar going down. It's not going down at the exact same time. So now you've eaten breakfast. 2 hours later, your blood sugar starts to go down. Insulin is still high. Blood sugar is not low enough for insulin to drop as well. Oh, it's time for a snack. Eat your snack. Guess what? Blood sugar goes up, insulin remains high. No hormone in your body is designed to be on all of the time. As with insulin, insulin has to come down at some point. Think about the hormone of cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone. We want cortisol. Without cortisol, you will not wake up in the morning. Because right before you wake up in the morning, you have this burst of cortisol. It wakes you up, you get out of bed, and then it goes down. By about noontime, you almost have no cortisol left in your body. Now with insulin, insulin has to go down too, because if it's always on, it is going to burn out some systems. Now, think about this. I like the story because it's practical, and it really shows us exactly what happens in our body. A technician of mine wears a Dexcom 6. And it's his new toy. He loves it. I love it because I learn from what he's doing to his body. So he went on his break and he said, 3 bites of a muffin. His blood sugar went from 94 to over 200, and it took him 6 hours for that blood sugar to go down again. Now think about that. If you eat every 6 hours, that's still going to mean that your blood sugar is going to remain high. So, or your insulin is going to remain high. So if you are going to want to get your insulin down, your fat storage hormone down, the hormone that can cause you to have high blood pressure, get that down, you have to allow enough time between your meals in order for your insulin to come down. So, and that enough time can be, for some people, it is almost 10 hours. And for some people, it is 16 hours. But for most people who eat 6 meals a day, it is to start, it's a good point to think about cutting out all the snacking and only eat 3 solid meals to start out with. Start with a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and nothing in between. With nothing in between, I also mean no drink that contains any form of calorie. Black coffee is okay with no sugar. Water is perfect, but if you eat a breakfast and then you take your friend for a Starbucks and you get a caramel macchiato, guess what happens? You just ruin it. It's all gone. It's all history. So start with trying the 3 meals with nothing in between, with only water or black coffee. But you can also, if you manage that, try to step it up to fast, to have a fasting time period of at least between 16 and 18 hours, and then eat only between a 4 and a 6 hour window. And during that time, eat, but eat the right stuff. And Yvette is going to tell you what the right stuff is. No matter you put in all this work, you fought the cravings because sugar is so addictive. You're not hungry. Your mind is going to trick you. That is what this training behind me is about, food addictions. Your mind will, an addiction will trigger you that it tells you, I need this. You don't need it. It's the addiction talking. You can fight it because we're all overcomers. God made us strong people. So with that said, if you can try and stick to the, stretch it to the 18 hours and eat in a 6 to a 4 hour time, the next step will be to do what they call OMAD, 1 meal a day. That is the ultimate. But that is just my short piece of when to eat. So I'm going to get myself in the back seat now, and I'm going to listen to what Yvette says we need to eat in that 4 hour period so that we can all learn and get healthier as we go. Thank you, Yvette. Take it away.
Oh, thanks, Johann. Yeah, that is fantastic. You know, I just want for people to recap, and what I've taken what Johann said is we are not cows. We don't need to graze. When you are hungry, eat. You don't need to snack. If you can let just that little thing sink in, you will change your life. So the question is, we had, when do you eat? Now we know, when do you eat? What do you eat? I'm going to start off by making this statement, and this is factual. There are only 2 essential macronutrients. Those are proteins and fats. You can go Google it. You can go look it up. Carbohydrate is a non-essential macronutrient. You can make your own carbohydrates. So if you want me to repeat that again, there are only 2 essential macronutrients, proteins and fats. And what we have neglected over the years is the amount of protein we eat. What a lot of people do not realize is protein, what we would call amino acid, the little building blocks, is the building blocks for everything in your body, whether it comes to the tissue in your heart, where it comes from your lungs, where it comes through your liver, your skin, your eyes. You need amino acids, and that comes from protein. In the protein I'm talking about is animal protein, the protein that God created for our bodies to utilize the most. One thing that we have seen is when people utilize a diet higher in their proteins, their gut health is better, their blood sugar is better, their heart health is better, their inflammation goes way down. So by eliminating the high sugar, the fat, when I talk fat, I'm talking seed oils, trans fats, all that. By eliminating all of those, lactose and carbs, many people will experience a reduction in pain, inflammation, any kind of autoimmune disease. So the question always comes up when people ask, okay, then what do I eat? Well, first of all, I believe in a proper human diet. I don't believe in food that comes out of a box. Like my husband always says, if you can pick it or shoot it, you can eat it. So beef. Beef has been demonized for years and years and years, completely debunked over and over. Beef has got essential proteins in there that your body utilizes. So let me just tell you, what is the 3 biggest reasons why you would eat proteins? First of all, the protein is very satiating. You can get full very quickly from meat. And the second thing is, because protein and beef is so nutrient dense, your body can utilize everything in there. So when we speak about that it is harder to metabolize, we don't mean harder as in your body is grinding. It means all your cells have to work together to utilize those nutrients that they can use. So you actually use energy when you eat protein. And the third reason why it's so essential to eat protein is because it sustains your muscle mass. And most of us do not want to lose the strength in our muscles the older we get. So what to eat? Ruminant animals have got more than one stomach. That means the foods that they eat, they break down, and their meat is the most nutrient dense for us. So beef, lamb, goat, elk, any kind of wild, that is absolutely essential. If you can afford grass-fed, if you can get wild caught, that is preferred. But do you know what? It is more important to get the protein in than to go break the bank. So please focus on getting that. You know, then there's people that love to eat pork. They love to eat fish. They love to eat chicken. Of those, I would always say add that to your diet, but they are not as nutrient dense as what the beef, the goat, the lamb, the elk is. And also a note is that lamb is the most, the lowest inflammation food that you can get. So if you really have food sensitivities, lamb is the best thing to eat. So if you can get that, eat it. Then with regards to stuff like proteins in the form of eggs is extremely healthy for you. I do put a side note on there. Some people can eat lots of eggs, others cannot. Just because I'm telling you what to eat doesn't mean you have to go eat it. I learn for themselves. Like, I am a little bit sensitive to eggs. When I eat too much of it, I break out in a rash. But I have learned that. It doesn't mean I don't eat it, and it doesn't mean I cut it out. Eggs, very good. Please go buy ones that are completely, you know, farm raised. If you can get some from the local farmers, do that. Then one of the big things that we have that come up a lot of time is with regards to fats. Saturated fats are the ones that is the most essential for the body. And I want to just pick up with something that Johann said that lots of people don't know. I don't know if you can read this, but this is a little thing called the pathway for your steroid hormones. And right at the top, the first thing at the top that they are all made of is cholesterol. So if you don't have cholesterol, your testosterone, your estradiol, your cortisol, your progesterone, your aldosterone is not going to form. So for some people that know what those are, and most people that know what those are, you need those. So if you don't eat the right foods and you don't get the right oils in your body, your cholesterol will not perform and your hormones will not perform. So with regards to the fats, then, this is where I want everybody to make sure, do not use seed oils. Seed oils are highly inflammatory. Use butter, use ghee, use tallow. You know, I do believe I've seen a couple of studies of the inflammation rate of the seed oils. They are now seeing is higher than what insulin is. And it takes people longer to get the seed oils out of their liver and storage. So seed oils are not proper human food. Do not eat them. The question comes up with dairy. If you can tolerate dairy, eat it. It's fine. Go for the hard cheeses. Don't overindulge with that. And we always want to make sure it's things that are low in carbohydrates. So I do not recommend milk. Majority of the milk in this country has sugar added to it, and they do not have to put it on the label. The law was passed in the 80s with that already. So we are not baby cows. Don't drink milk. If you want to have a bit of sweetener or a bit of cream, put some heavy whipping cream in. Do some half and half, but slowly but surely graduate off that. And like Johann said, black tea, black coffee. Then a very important question with regards to salt. Salt is absolutely essential for your body, because if you do not eat sugars and carbohydrates, your body will not hold on to the salts, because it's the sugar that make you actually hold on to the salts. So salt is very important. I typically recommend Redmond salt, Celtic salt, salts that are pure. The verdict isn't really out on the whole Himalayan salt thing, because there's a lot of people that found out that there's a big marketing scam and lawsuits going on there. So for now, we just avoid that. And then with regards to, people will ask, well, if I want something a bit sweet, sugar is a no-no. If you can actually break the need for the sweetness in your mouth, because there is a brain taste connection for that. If you can break that, then don't use any sugars. If you still want a little bit of sugars, you can test for yourself. You can use something like stevia. Make sure it's a raw form of stevia. You could use something like monk fruit. Again, make sure it's the pure forms. Some people use erythritol. There are a lot of things out now about erythritol. Again, it's all moderation. Everything of those are in moderation. So don't go and eat spoonfuls of it because you want the sweetness of it. Just if you need to add it to your tea, you need to add it to your coffee, do that. So with that said, just to give you a complete view, so some people will say, yeah, but I still want and need some, vegetables and fibrous stuff. You really don't need them. But if you do feel like you want to go eat some vegetables and stuff, test it out on yourself, especially if you have any kind of irritable bowel issues or stuff. If you have any kind of gallstones, kidney stones, things like that, be aware of the high oxalate vegetables. And you can certainly make sure eat yourself low carb vegetables. We suggest that you always eat your protein first and then the rest of the stuff. So just to come back to the importance of protein, the one question people ask is, how much protein should I eat? You should technically eat, if you just average person, work out a little bit, you don't work out too much, you should eat approximately 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight. So if you weigh 150 pounds, ideal body weight, you should be eating 150 grams of protein. That does not mean when you go weigh the steak and it's 150 grams that it's 150 gram steak. It means 25% on average, depending on your cut, of that meat is protein. So you will have to eat 4 times that amount of protein. So as a little bit of homework, go work out your ideal body weight. Go take the 1 gram per ideal body weight. Work out how much protein you should eat. See, there's about 6 grams of protein in an egg. Go look at what's in a steak. Go look at the different foods, and you will realize the reason your muscle mass is going away is that you are not eating enough protein. So with that said, I think my leaving message that I want everybody to remember: eat protein, eat meat. Secondly, make sure you get all the healthy fats in. Don't be scared of fats. Fat does not cause cholesterol. And if you do eat, spices and stuff, try and stick to salt as much as possible. A lot of the salt that spices that we buy have got a lot of added things in. And we did go through the pantry stuff last week, so make sure you don't have those spices. Drink plenty of water. And like Johann said, when you're fasting and when you eat, we call that feasting. So when you eat until you are full. I hope, Johann, that I made that clear enough.
Yes. No, that was brilliant. Thank you, Yvette. And I think everybody that's going to watch the recording and share a year with us, I think we really appreciate your input. And because it's important to know what to eat when you're going to eat. And so many people come and tell me, oh, my doctor said I'm not supposed to eat this, I'm not supposed to eat that. And I think they get so overwhelmed with the things that they should not eat that they don't know what to eat. And I think you put it out very clearly for everybody on what to eat when they're eating. So, and quick homework assignment for everybody who's going to be watching. I will send the homework assignment out on the email as well. And the homework assignment is a 3-day food log, which means you are going to record when you eat and what you are eating in that time. And now, when we say record what you are eating, we also mean what you are drinking. Because what you are drinking can sometimes have some devastating effects on our lives, and especially our immune systems. So, and don't cheat. The importance of this exercise is more because you're doing it for you. You're in reset, not for us, but you're in reset for you. So make sure that you record everything 3 days. So for some people, we get into private coaching, we will ask them to do a 7-day food log. So 3 days is not that much. I think anybody can do that. So it's not easy, it's not fun, because now before you put something in your mouth, you want to have to write down what it says, what it is. But, you know, it's okay, it's fun. Let's play with it. Make sure you record everything correctly. And if you want to send it in to us, me and Yvette can review and make some simple suggestions for you. So, and all of that said, we're so grateful for you being on here, for everybody that's on today, and for those who are going to watch the recording. Please give us your feedback. We would like to know where we can do better, and also what your experiences are. And if you have any questions, please ask. Don't let that question just get out of your mind and then you're not going to ask for it again. Please do take care of yourself and ask those questions. And Yvette, you've got something?
Yes, so Sherry has a question in here. Yvette, is it the whole egg for you or just the egg whites? I do whole eggs, it's not the one or the other that's causing the allergies, if that's your question. I do recommend whole eggs for everybody. I don't believe there's chickens that lay eggs with whites and yellows in them, so I go for the way God made it. What I do, and this is part of the whole program that I teach people, is if you, like, for example, I'm sensitive to the eggs, so I can eat some and then I have to lay off it. It's the same as pork. I can eat bacon, but if you make any other pork, it makes me want to throw up. And I was so happy. I heard another doctor speak about it the one day, and people said to him, why don't you eat pork? He said, because I don't like it. And I think we have gone past the world, and the media has taught us. So, you know, when people were said, drink a glass of wine every night, it's good for you. People were drinking wine that didn't even like wine. Now they say, don't drink it. You know what I'm saying? Is so people stop thinking for themselves and going, I really don't like that. So why am I eating it? So those are the meats and stuff I suggest. If you want to eat organ meats, if you want to eat liver and add that stuff with, we've got that on a more intense training session. Great for you. If you don't like it, don't eat it. So to answer the question there is, I always feel whole proper food, but always listen to your body. If you don't feel well the next day, very true. With regards to the pounds per body weight or the kilos, it's 1 gram of protein per pound body weight. Okay, so if you have 1 gram of protein, 150 pounds of body weight. It's a very great way to do that. And then you were mentioning in one of the questions with regards to spinach. Spinach is a high oxalate vegetable. I can tell you, I got my first kidney stone when I was 24 years old. Never in my life knew what it was. I thought my husband kicked me in my sleep. I was furious. I spent the whole morning and night on scans, and it was the first time in my life that I learned that I have kidney stones. So fast forward, and I had them subsequently again and again and again. And about 18 months ago, I ended up in hospital one night. I thought I was going to lose my mind again. Kidney stone. Guess what I was eating? I was eating tons and tons of scrambled eggs with spinach leaves. And it was approximately, I'd say 2 or 3 months after that, that I stumbled across all the research on the high oxalate foods. I cut that out, and I have not had as much as one little pain in my kidneys. So for people that are susceptible to gallstones, kidney stones, any of those breakdown products, the high oxalate foods and the vegetables are the cause. So again, I never liked spinach. I ate it because they told me it was good. Lesson learned. If you don't like it, don't eat it. So when you have kids, and you know, when children don't want certain foods, subsequently you find out that kid is allergic to it, or it's just not something they will ever eat. Let them listen to their bodies. Don't let them dial down the switches that God gave them. It's part of our human system. It's part of how we work. And I also think further in life, if we don't stop those little things, then it'll help our children to make better choices when it comes to food. I hope that answers. Oh, yes, you also had your, save your bacon grease. Yes, we definitely do. All the bacon grease we save, keep it in a bottle, works fantastically for all the food. So, Johann, I think I just wanted to quickly answer those to see if there was anything else that comes to mind for you.
No, that looks good. Looks like you covered all the questions. I just have a question about an egg yolk in coffee. I have to try that.
So it's really, really so good. And you get like 2 inches of foam on it. So I have a YouTube channel, and I did a demo on it, but you're basically tempering the egg yolk. So put the egg yolk in your cup first, and then you pour your steaming coffee while you're using like a little frother, a little blender, and it cooks it, but it mixes it all, emulsifies it. That's the word. It emulsifies it. And it is so good. If you want happy coffee, that is the best.
I have to try it.
You get a little protein too.
Yeah. Okay,
Sorry, I think somebody is burning a steak in my house, so the fire alarms are going off.
Oh. I'm going to have to stop the recording. And I just want to tell everybody, thank you so for being on. And I really hope you enjoy this course.